So today, ahead of parkrun tomorrow, I'm trying out the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s. And let's have a little look at what they look like. I must say the box is rather snazzy too, isn't it? So, what do we have?
A pair of shoes, hopefully.
Wow. Yes, but look at those. Beautiful. I'm going to read what it says on the box. Puma makes racing shoes to break barriers and shatter records. So, first impressions, nice and springy. So, initial thoughts on the shoes. They feel nice and springy. They like to go faster, so when I've increased the pace just now, they seem to like that better than my slow pace. So yes, lovely. Let's see how they perform at tomorrow's parkrun.
So the next test for the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s came the following day at the flat and fast Alveston parkrun, where Dawn did a 5k time trial.
So yes, initially I felt the shoe was wonderful. The fork-shaped plate certainly lived up to its having a supreme cushioning, and the grip certainly held up to this tarmac surface. Apparently the shoe has Puma grip rubber for multi-surface traction, and it was really good on cornering. I was particularly pleased actually when we were going around the corner that the stability was really good. So when I tried the shoe the day before and I was going at a slow pace, I said that it liked to go faster, and it certainly did. And apparently it is advertised as a shoe that is for speed sessions and races, so it certainly liked the pace I was going at. Not that I'm particularly fast, but I was certainly faster than I was when I first put them on. So in this time trial, the shoe performed really well because I ran the fastest I've ran for, a few weeks. So yes, definitely lived up to what I was expecting from the shoe today.
So today I am going to be testing out the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3. I'll go into the specifics of the shoe later, but for now I'm just going to get stuck into that workout. So today's session is going to be 1 mile warm-up, then it's 4 times 2 miles at marathon effort, 2 minutes recovery in between, and a 1 mile cool down. I'm hoping these shoes are going to prove as beautiful on this run as they did on Saturday. In my marathon effort section of this run, I'm hoping to run between 7:40 and 8-minute miles. So we'll see what happens. This is a lovely loop. This is where Hillsborough Parkrun takes place. It's an undulating course on good tarmac. As you can see, it's just starting to get dark.
It's not dark yet, but it's getting there.
But there are lights all the way around.
Hello.
So during this session, the shoe initially felt really good, a bit like it did on the Saturday when I did the parkrun. But as the session progressed, I started to feel a rub-in on the back of my Achilles, which was starting to give me a little bit of concern. At first I thought it was the socks I was wearing. However, the paces were really good and I was very pleased with how the shoe was performing.
So first 2 miles done, shoes feel quite natural. That's probably because they have a fork-shaped plate, so they allow the foot to land naturally.
These shoes are lightweight and they weigh 179 grams in my 5.5s.
Second section of marathon effort done, and still a little issue on the left foot. I think the shoe feels a bit loose, and I think it's down to my socks. So really I should have worn the same socks as I wore on Saturday to do this session, but lesson learned. I can also feel a tiny little bit of pinching on my toe of the left foot. So again, I'm hoping that's just down to the choice of socks that I'm wearing today. You probably can't see me now, it's pretty dark around here, but you can hear me. Section 3 done of marathon effort, and feeling good actually, although legs are a little bit tired, but it is after work. Shoes feeling a bit pinched in places. I'll go into more detail at the end of this run. So that's a session complete, and I'd say that was very successful. However, as I said during the run, there are a couple of little issues with the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3 on this session. Now, I did say that I'm wearing different socks to what I was wearing on Saturday, and probably I should have worn the same ones so I could give them a fair trial. However, the socks I am wearing are trainer socks. They are running socks. They're seamless, but they're very thin. So the left shoe is moving slightly, and that has caused a rubbing on my Achilles, which at the moment feels a little bit sore. I've not had to look at it to see whether it actually has made any marks. And in terms of the front of the shoe, it's quite tight on my toes, so I feel like I may have a little blister on my toes.
So 1 week later, I decided to give the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s another go over medium distance of 8 miles, which is the distance I covered on the session. I decided to wear the same socks that I ran the park run in, which felt good, to see if the socks were a problem or it was the shoe. So once again, I set off on 8 miles, as I said, and the first 3 miles they felt okay, and then I could start to feel them rubbing straight away, actually, after about 3 miles. So I was starting to get a little bit concerned because I knew I was going to be covering 8 miles, and I hoped they wouldn't get very bad. Unfortunately, by the time I was coming back down the trail to finish the run, I could feel quite a significant rubbing on my left Achilles. So at the end of the run, I decided to remove my shoe on a bench just to have a look at my foot, because I actually was limping a little bit as it was really rubbing and quite sore. And when I did take my shoe off, I was not surprised to see that the rubbing had actually taken some of the skin off.
Right, okay, so I've just done a medium run of 8 miles in the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s. As you'll know from the first video I did a park run, I absolutely loved these shoes when I put them on. They felt great. However, I've now worn them for a couple of sessions. I've actually worn them this morning for 8 miles, and on each of the occasions I've worn them since the park run, they've rubbed on the back of my Achilles. Now, I didn't have plaster this morning, guys, so I put Melon dressing on with a little bit of tape to try to protect them. But as you've seen, it's still taking a bit of skin off the back of my Achilles. So although the shoe feels absolutely fantastic in terms of pace, speed, cushioning, I have an issue with the heel cuff. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I'll have to think about it. So yeah, a little bit disappointed that they've done this over 8 miles, which doesn't give me confidence to run a long run in them. I was going to wear them on Sunday for a long run, but at the moment I'm in two minds.
So what is my verdict on the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s? Well, I have to say, if I was to go by the reviews that I've seen of other YouTubers, I would say that I was really looking forward to buying them. And when I got them, I was quite excited. When I wore them for the first time, I thought, wow, these are really good. However, having worn them now for over 3 miles on 8 mile runs, on both those occasions, they've rubbed on the back of my Achilles, and yesterday actually broke the skin. So I do say, for me, maybe the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s are not a long distance shoe. But I wouldn't say they're not a shoe I won't enjoy over shorter distances. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed actually. I'm just hoping that maybe over time they soften on the heel counter, not the heel counter, what do you call it? The heel cuff, sorry. So they soften a bit, and maybe that will then prevent them from breaking the skin on my Achilles. But for now, they're going to be a short distance shoe, and certainly not a long distance shoe. So, are they a shoe that you've bought recently? What do you think about them? Let me know. Are you finding them really good over longer distance? Are you, like me, finding them that they rub a little bit on your heel? You know, nobody else that I've seen on YouTube have actually said about them rubbing. In fact, I think a lot of people said they were very much like the I think it was a Nike Vaporfly actually, but then when I think back, I bought the Nike Vaporfly and they actually weren't a shoe for me either. So maybe that's it. Maybe
I just don't suit these shoes. So, although I don't think they are a long distance shoe for me, I have to say for a super shoe, I think they are great value. I think I bought them for about £169, something like that with discount. So yes, if you're thinking of buying a super shoe, then I would recommend them. But I'd also recommend that you try them out first somewhere before you wear them outside. Because as I said, over the first 3 miles, they felt great. But after that, So I hope you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful for what I found out about the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite 3s. And if you have liked this video, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, then obviously I would love you to do so. So until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.